magic sauce people. How you doing? My name is Amain Ali and I am a collaborator, a fellow innovator, a friend, and a fan of the magic sauce. I thought I would celebrate Yuri's recent online challenge to go from faker to maker by throwing out a video, which is totally scary, but you know, fail forward and all that. But it's to share a tool that I call the special sauce for the magic sauce while I'm sauced. Get it? This is the second one in. It's a really simple tool for people who might be in transition. They might be exploring a different role at their organization. They might be looking to change careers. They might just be looking for clarity on what makes them awesome. So you ready? Cool. Now, it's as easy as knowing what a Venn diagram is. So go ahead and draw 3 circles, 1 on top, 2 on the bottom alongside, intersecting in the middle to a nice sweet spot place, which we're actually going to call the secret sauce. And label the top circle domain. And the domain basically represents your category, your vertical, or your industry. And it's a knowledge-based aspect of self, of where you spend a lot of time learning about your industry. And that might be around competitor landscapes, it might be the evolution of your industry over time, it might be around key players, but you really have to put the time in to become an expert in your domain. So for here, using Yuri as an example, I might put consulting. I could put banking because that was the last working contract that he had. But as an example, consulting, banking, advertising, coaching, the arts, whatever domain you might be in, go ahead and write the domain there. For Yuri, it's consulting. The next circle, I'm going to label process. And process, unlike the knowledge-based aspect of self, is something that's much more principle-based. So this is all about what kind of process do you put in place? What kind of system do you use to get from A to B? And this system is repeatable, it's iterative, it comes with just a few steps, but the more and more you practice it, the more you can go from A to B and get better and better results. So for example, for Yuri, this would be the innovation process or innovation methodology or design thinking. It can also be agile or lean. It can be coaching. It can be managerial processes. It can be educational processes. It could be coaching. I think I said that already. Every domain usually teaches you a type of process, but a lot of processes are kind of transversal and they can be integrated into different domains. And when you get to a high level of process, you can actually be an incredible generalist and work in differing domains, highlighting the process as opposed to the knowledge base of your domain. Okay, so the third aspect I'm going to call energy. And unlike domain, which is knowledge-based, or process, which is principle-based, energy, though I know it sounds totally vague and esoteric, is passion-based. It's what's the energy you bring to the table, and it's undeniably your energy. It's different than everybody else's. They could hire someone from the same domain who knows the same processes, but it would be different because you bring blank to the table. And this is usually an adjective that describes you, and it's oftentimes what we hear from colleagues or partners or friends who say, "You're so fill in the blank." The things that people often share with you as feedback on your strong suit before they give you really critical feedback. It's like the shit sandwich. It's like, you're so good at this and this, but you suck at that. Anyways, off track. So it could be that you're charismatic, or you're highly meticulous, or you're really committed, or you're hilarious, or you're whatever it might be, generous, empathic. It's that quality that you bring that is undeniably you. And what I want you to do is to take that up the funnel a little bit. Instead of being an adjective, find a noun of either an industry or a thing that you might have done as a hobby, or are fascinated by, or study a lot on the side, that draw that out of you. Right, so I know for a fact, you may not, that Yuri is really into music. And he's kind of an entertainer at heart. You know, we used to call him rock star at our old company. So he has a lot of charisma. So he's someone who can get up on stage and be very comfortable being on stage. So I would say the adjective is charismatic, but then I would say the aspect of him that's sort of passion-oriented or energy-oriented is entertainment. That really describes, I think, the quality of the world he might be bringing to the table. All right, so now you've got all these 3 things, and it's not just about throwing them together and going, there you go. Yay, there's your secret sauce. It requires a little bit more work and thinking. It's not about what these three aspects are that you bring to the table, but it's about how you show up to these three aspects. All right? So if I look at domain and I look at consulting, how Yuri shows up to consulting is that he loves to connect. Yuri likes to connect people in order to connect ideas and new ways of solving problems. If we go to process and think about a verb, Yuri's process is innovation. So within the process of innovation, he loves the act of creating. So create. What is it about creation that he loves? He loves to create new ways to do things better and have impact. Plain and simple. Finally, to the energy aspect, what is it about, entertainment that he loves so much? Like, why love music? Why love getting on stage to present? Why love different forms of communication? I think he likes to communicate ideas in ways that they really simplify and excite at the same time. So now we have three different aspects. In domain, it's consulting. And in consulting, he loves to connect people to new ideas and solve problems better. In process, it's about innovation methodology, and he loves to create newer, better ways to have impact. And in energy, he is about entertainment. And in entertainment, it's about communicating better ways to do things more simply and more exciting. So, of course, the nexus of these things is the magic sauce. Yay! Yay! Cheers! Cheers! So my invitation to you now is to kind of play with these three parts as you're going through your transition. Domain is the easiest one to change. It's the hardest one to learn a new domain, but if you're skilled in your process and you amplify your energy, it's easy to change the domain that you're in because you're bringing these other two components together. In process, this is also an exciting thing to build upon. Where it's hard to deny the 20 years you just spent in one particular industry, you can change the way that you look at that industry, perhaps, and change your role by taking on different processes or different systems and also dialing up your style to just bring more energy to that situation. Anyways, I hope that was useful. I'm out of sauce. I hope you can find your secret sauce. Play around with it. There are no rules in this. These are just mini resources you can use to help you articulate and clarify what you're actually bringing to the table, and then also deciding on what else you could bring if you wanted to change that table and dial up those secret talents. Cheers. I'm so sorry. Right, my name is Amain Ali. See, already messed up. Hi, Magic Saucers. Poop. It's so loud here in the paradise of the countryside. It's called failing forward.